Now, I've never actually taken the time to watch a lot of the old rom-coms and what have you from long ago, but I've seen maybe one or two or maybe three of them. And recently, last year, I checked this film out and I just finished rewatching it for this review. So prepare yourselves as I review Blake Edwards' classic Breakfast at Tiffany's. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews, darling. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1961 rom-com classic Breakfast at Tiffany's, released by Paramount, directed by Blake Edwards, written by George Axelrod, adapted from Truman Capote's 1958 novella of the same name, starring Audrey Hepburn along with George Peppard, Mickey Rooney, and a host of others. It's about a naive, eccentric cafe society girl who falls in love with a struggling writer while attempting to marry for money. The film was released on October 5th, 1961, and it proved to be a big success, and also winning numerous awards, including various Academy Awards and even Grammy Awards, which I'll get to that in a little bit. Let's get started with our story. Just check it. Just after dawn, a taxi pulls up in front of the Tiffany and Company flagship store in New York, and from it emerges elegantly dressed Holly Golightly, carrying a paper bag containing her breakfast. After looking into the store's window displays, she strolls to her apartment and asks to fend off her date from the night before. Once inside, Holly cannot find her keys, so she buzzes her landlord, Mr. Yoniyoshi, to let her in. Later, she is awakened by new neighbor Paul Varjak, who rings her doorbell to get into the building. The pair talk as she dresses to leave for her weekly visit to mobster Sally Tomato. Currently incarcerated at Sing Sing, Tomato's lawyer pays her $100 a week to deliver the weather report. As she is leaving Holly is introduced to Paul's decorator, a wealthy older woman named Emily Eustace Fellinson, whom Paul nicknames 2E. That night, when Holly crawls out onto the fire escape to elude an overeager date, she peeks into Paul's apartment and sees 2E leaving money and kissing him goodbye. Visiting Paul afterwards, she learns he is a writer who has not had anything published since a book of vignettes 5 years earlier and has no ribbon in his typewriter. Holly, in turn, explains she is saving money to support her brother, Fred, after he completes his army service. The pair fall asleep but are awakened when Holly has a nightmare about Fred. When Paul questions her about this, Holly chides him for prying. Holly later buys Paul a typewriter ribbon to apologize and invites him to a wild party at her apartment. There he meets her Hollywood agent, Berman, who describes Holly's transformation from a country girl into a Manhattan socialite, along with wealthy Brazilian politician Jose da Silva Pereira and Rusty Trawler, the ninth richest man in America under 50. Sometime later, 2E enters Paul's apartment, worried about someone loitering outside the building. Paul confronts the man, who explains he is Holly's husband, Doc Golightly. They married when she was 14, but she ran away, and he has come to bring her back to rural Texas. After Paul reunites Holly and Doc, she informs Paul that the marriage was annulled. At the Greyhound bus station, she tells Doc that he made a mistake in trying to love a wild thing, and he leaves broken-hearted. After drinking at a club, Paul and Holly return to her apartment, where she tells him that she plans to marry Trawler for his money. A few days later, Paul learns that one of his short stories will be published. On the way to tell Holly, he sees a newspaper headline stating that Trawler has married someone else. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go to the final act and the ending. As always, you know the procedure for my videos. You have 5 seconds to stop this video, of course. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Holly and Paul agree to spend the day together, taking turns doing things each has never done before. At Tiffany's, he has the ring from Dr. Golightly's box of Cracker Jack engraved as a present for her. After spending the night together, Paul awakens to find Holly gone. 2E arrives and calmly accepts when he ends their affair, realizing he loves another. Returning from a date with Jose, Holly learns her brother Fred has been killed. She trashes the apartment and Paul calms her and sends Jose in. Months later, Holly is about to move to Brazil and marry Jose. She is arrested in connection with Sally Tomato's drug ring. The headlines are devastating. Berman pays her bail, and Paul picks her up in a cab with all her things, including Cat and Jose's written farewell. Holly decides to go to Brazil anyway, breaking bail. Paul declares that he loves her, but she says no one will put her in a cage. She throws Cat out into an alley into the pouring rain. Paul says that being in love is the only chance anybody has got for real happiness, and he storms out of the cab and tells her that she is already in a cage that she takes with her. He tosses the engraved ring into her lap and leaves. She puts it on, weeping, then runs back to the alley where Paul is calling Cat. Tears blending with rain, Holly calls for Cat in vain, and her eyes meet Paul's, and Cat yells. She cradles him in her coat and, smiling, walks into Paul's embrace. End of story. So, what did I think of Breakfast at Tiffany's? Well, I've only seen this twice, and that's been on Paramount Plus. I'm going to say this film is very, very good in my view. It seems I've ranked up, well, not ranked, but racked up another old film from long ago. This is the only Audrey Hepburn film I've seen. After seeing this twice, I definitely need to look into some more of her work and what have you. Anyway, since it's been over 30 years since she passed away, rest in peace, I have heard about some of the other works she's been in, like Funny Face and, of course, My Fair Lady. I definitely need to look into that. I've seen bits. I think I've seen just a tiny bit or maybe bits of it, but I don't remember. But anyway, I think this film was just so amazing. Audrey Hepburn easily steals the show as Holly. I think this was a very good character. Paul is played by George Peppard, who I would, well, people like me would know him best for playing John Hannibal Smith on TV's The A-Team years later. But he'd been in numerous films and TV shows long before that. I'm gonna say he is absolutely very good. Now playing 2E is Patricia Neal. She's good. Doc Golightly was played by Buddy Ebsen, who after this, if I'm not, yeah, who the following year would go on to play Jed Clampett on TV's The Beverly Hillbillies. There's other characters. We have Martin Balsam as Berman, and Jose Luis de Villalonga. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Plays Jose. Anyway, John McGiver plays the salesman at Tiffany's. Stanley Adams plays Rusty Trawler. We have Elia Allman as the librarian. And Alan Reed as Sally Tomato. Yes, you heard me correctly, as in of course that's the guy who had recently started voicing a certain Fred Flintstone at the time. Yes. He was already a big star in movies and on radio. Let me see. I'm just checking. Yeah, he would go on appearance in numerous other programs and what have you. Definitely. But oh yeah, and finally I had Mickey Rooney as Mr. Unioshi. Yeah, I gotta say that was kind of, I don't know how to put it. Well, I've seen what Mickey Rooney looks like, but well probably having makeup and what have you and stuff. Well, I think a hairpiece to make him look Asian. Boy, that's really funny and what have you. But that's still a pretty good character though. Henry Mancini is on board to do the score. He of course would later go on to work on doing the scores for other Blake Edwards works, most notably the Pink Panther franchise. And let's see, I'm trying to remember what else did he work on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He would work on doing the Pink Panther show. He also directed episodes of the Peer Gun show, which also had its score done by Henry Mancini as well. Anyway, now, so Edward's direction was really good and what have you. Now then, this film did pretty well and made 14 million overall on a 2.5 million dollar budget. Hepburn's portrayal of Holly is generally considered to be one of her most memorable and identifiable roles. She regarded as one of her most challenging roles since she was an introvert required to play an extrovert. The film received 5 nominations at the Academy Awards: Best Actress for Hepburn, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Production Design, and two that won, and those were the nominations. But it won Best Original Score and Best Original Song for Mancini's Moon River, which of course he Mancini composed, and the lyrics were done by Johnny Mercer. Anyway, now the film currently sits at 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. Says it contains some ugly anachron- anachronisms, but Blake Edwards is as funny as in this iconic classic, and Audrey Hepburn absolutely lights up the screen. I couldn't have said it better myself. There's so many others and what have you. Time really, it seems Time thought it was good. I mean, Chicago Tribune liked it, and so was the Philadelphia Inquirer and the New York Times as well. So anyway, yeah, okay, and at the Grammys, it won 5 of its 6 nominations. The only one it missed out was the album of the year, other than classical. But Moon River won the Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Arrangement, while The Breakfast at Tiffany's score won the Grammy for Best Performance by an Orchestra for Other Than Dancing, and Best Soundtrack Album or Recording of Score for Motion Picture or Television, which I thought that was really cool. So anyway, I think I really like this film. Actually, I love it. After revisit, I love it even more. Breakfast at Tiffany's, I think it was good. Got a good story. It's got great direction from Blake Edwards, a good score from Henry Mancini. Can't go wrong with him, and great characters and a great cast led by Audrey Hepburn. So there's nothing really wrong about that. But overall, would I recommend? But with everything said, would I recommend it? I'd say, yeah, sure, go ahead, give it a shot. Now, if I do happen to find any more of Hepburn's works, I'm gonna try and watch them, and then mind you, maybe I'll review those sometime in the future. But anyway, what did you think of Breakfast at Tiffany's? Let me know in the comments section below. If you liked the video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And you'll be happy to know that the Sex and the City movie is finally up to view on Max, finally. And you will finally, I will finally make up for lost time and, well, for postponing it, and I will give you a review of it tomorrow, okay? All right. So anyway, thank you for watching my review of Breakfast at Tiffany's, and if you like this, consider checking out my reviews for some of these other films that have a little bit of how should I put it this way, rom-com feel. In the upper left-hand corner is my original review for a classic, the first remake of A Star Is Born from 1954. I may re-review that. We'll see. But my original review for that's up there. The upper right hand corner is my review of Something's Gotta Give from 2003. Or if you would like maybe some later George Peppard, see my TV log of the A Team, which I did last year in the bottom left hand corner. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.